We've been joined in studio by Bright Appiah. He's the Executive Director of Child Rights International, to tell us what his outfit makes of some of these exposés and what they, in collaboration with government, can do to ensure that at least children or orphans, in that, for that matter, are given the best care and the best attention. Thank you very much, Bright, for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. What were your initial impressions when you when you watched this this footage?
Yeah, I think it's something that has been in the system for a long time. So it's just adding up to some of the revelations that we need in order to make a case. So it's very disheartening, but I think that it also tells us what we have to do moving forward. What we have to do is what specifically? Yeah, well, I think that supervision is not the issue, because there are institutions that have been mandated to carry out some of these supervisions. Because if you're a private person and you establish an orphanage home, per our legislations, you don't even own it. You don't even own the orphanage home, though you are just providing services for the home. So the children there also belong to the state. So there should be external forces to also monitor the activities of how they run the home and all that. I think that is what we lack now, and I'm sure if you're able to put some of these things in place, people will do what is right. Clearly, this is not the first time such a story has come out. Osu Children's Home was a very typical example. Huge media buzz, a lot of attention, but then we've not had anything else from there. So is it just not going to be a talk shop to just tell them what must be done, but then nothing really gets done? No, that's my fear now. But we feel that some of these things should also be discussed. As the minister indicated, they have formed a 3-member committee. They have briefed the IGP, Attorney General, and they want to look at some prosecutions here and there. So we are just waiting to see what that will be. But beyond that, I think the supervision is also critical. And then also, if it is possible, which of course I must say that is possible, that they have to go back to look at the report that was issued after the incident at Osu Children's Home, to look at some of the recommendations, because some of them, there are some people in that report that we need to also prosecute, and so that it doesn't become an issue of, because it's a private owned orphanage home, that is why we want to take this action, because it also happened within the government owned home and all that. So that report, whatever that report is, I think that the ministry need to fish out that report, discuss it, and look at some of the recommendations and see how best they can implement them. It looks as if until a journalist or an undercover person goes in to bring out some of these things, hardly do we hear maybe Child Rights International or the ministry itself coming out to say that maybe orphanage home A or orphanage home B is being closed down, or such an action is being taken against them for X, Y, Z reasons. Until these things come out, what else apart from just monitoring can be done? Because what are the proposals really? Because we can't just sit and wait till another story comes and then we come and talk about it. Yeah, visual speaks a lot, so it just gives you the clear picture of what is happening. But before that, we've carried a lot of research, and we've made some of these recommendations to government, to say that yes, running of orphanage home is not something that will benefit children, because a lot of children who go to the orphanage homes, over 90% of them will have people that they can lean on in society and all that. So we've made such recommendations, but sometimes when you do research and you come up with the findings and all that, people feel that it's just a documentation, so they don't take it serious. So some of these visuals also speak to some of the things that we've been saying in the past, that they need to look at some of the homes and ensure that they provide the services that they need. Because even when a private person owns an orphanage home, you need somebody to also monitor it. For me, the issue, all the things that we are talking about borders on supervision, and we need to also resource social welfare. And we're talking about issues concerning social welfare for over 10 years now. We think that the social welfare system needs to be strengthened in this country, and if the institution itself, we have to build their capacity to deliver, because for me, they have a lot of power to also regulate some of the things that happens in this country. You can also include the orphanage homes and other related issues, because the social welfare officer today can't decide to walk to any home to find out what is happening to a child, or to find out what is happening to an aged person. So
It should be possible.
It is something, they have the power to do so, but when you go there and you find out from there, they will tell you that they don't have budget allocation, they have the resources. But I think that they can also on their own with resources to be able to do some of these things and all that. So supervision is very key, and I think that the focus of this particular documentary should be on supervision. Whatever it is that we have to do to ensure supervision, we have to do it.
Right. There are proposals that this should be shown in almost all the other orphanages so that those there would be on the alert. But now that it has been closed and the children taken out, where are they going to be taken, or where else would they be sent in this regard?
Yeah, I think that the signal that we've picked from the ministry is that they've sent them to a children's home. And they are taking care of them, but we are also concerned about the integration process of these children, which we're going to follow up on that as an NGO, because in most cases they do this and then you don't even track the integration processes where the children are and all that. So we would follow up, and at the appropriate time we'll also come up with a press conference to announce some of the findings in relation to this particular one and what we think that government moving forward should do.
All right, thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Here Bright Apiahe is the Executive Director of Child Rights International, and this is Midday Live. We'll keep an eye on this particular developing story as well, and then when the details unfold, we'll certainly bring them to you. This is Midday Live.